In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 golden nuggets that I learned while doing my first $3 million in sales. And I'm going to break down these golden nuggets so you can start selling more today. Whether you're selling products, services, or promoting a nonprofit, without sales, your organization's lifeblood will run dry and die. Despite being a high school dropout, I was closing deals in my early 20s for contracts worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in services like software development, web, video, and marketing. And the special sauce that got folks to buy from me, even when I had zero experience, was the exact same, regardless of the service I was selling. And I promise it will work for you too. I didn't originally consider myself a salesperson, but I learned that the job of a founder is selling nonstop. You sell your staff on your vision and process, you sell clients on your values and services. Now, there's also this breed of sales gurus out there that represent a more pushy, assertive, bro style sales that I've never really felt comfortable replicating. So I would say my style is kind of like the opposite side of the spectrum. I used to think that I was a service-oriented person rather than a sales-oriented person. However, this was the wrong way to think about it. Sales is actually the first service you provide. If business is solving problems for people, then sales is the service in itself. It's helping someone find the solution to the problem they had in the first place. For me, sales only gets icky when you start acting in your own interest instead of the interest of your customers. Which brings me to my first golden nugget. It doesn't matter if you have great testimonials and 5-star ratings on your website. When the prospect is calling you, you need to act as if you're earning their trust from scratch. Because even if they trust the brand or the business, they need to trust the salesperson. You can dress nice, you can put on a big smile, but that alone is not going to earn their trust. Here's how you can actually earn the trust of your prospects with golden nugget number 1, trust is earned, not given. I've had countless inquiries that began with a client trying to hire my agency, but it ended up with me recommending they go with someone else. Typically, it's because their budget is a bit smaller or their timeline's a bit tighter than I would like, but most importantly, it's because I act in their best interest at heart. You will not be the best fit for most of the leads that come through your pipeline, and they will most likely figure that out for themselves even if you try and sell them. You're just going to end up part of the 90% of the leads that you don't close. Or instead of being short-sighted, you can identify that incompatibility for them and then direct them to the right solution. By doing this, you're no longer on the other side of the negotiation table with your prospect. You're now sitting next to them and building a much more trustworthy connection. To me, a friend in my network is worth 10 times the value of a sale. I would turn away a prospect in exchange for a new relationship 7 days a week. It's the right thing to do in most cases, and it's also good for business. I once turned away a prospect, but first put together a plan for them so they could take that to another agency, and I knew the job would be done right. This impressed the client so much, they came back and insisted that I take the project, even though I was 3 times more expensive. When you treat sales as a service in itself, good things are going to happen. Have you ever been so oblivious at something that you deferred trust completely to someone else? When my business partners and I were putting together our new office, I was handling things like power tools and wood, and I deferred trust completely to my friend Jason, because he's the only one in our group that's handy. You want the same thing to happen during sales. Customers will actually defer to you if you actually know your shit. As soon as you have to check with someone else for an answer, or you freeze up when you're supposed to be speaking, you lose the trust of your prospect, and they will take back the steering wheel and drive the conversation. Now, your job's even harder because you're on your toes and you don't know what to expect. This prevents you from directing the conversation the way that you want to. There have been many nights before a big pitch or presentation that I'd spend hours learning all the acronyms, regulations, and common practices of a new industry, just so that during the pitch, I could demonstrate my understanding and earn the trust and confidence of our clients. When it's clear that you know what you're talking about, it's just human nature. They're going to defer trust to you and allow you to steer the conversation in the direction that you want to go. Another way to earn trust is simply a mindset change. Humans have a natural ability to sniff out desperation. If you go in needing to close a sale, the prospect's going to feel the desperation emitting from you, and intuitively, they will stop trusting you. When you go into sales conversations with the mindset of abundance and with the frame that it doesn't matter if you close or not, you're going to end up selling a lot more. To summarize golden nugget number 1, trust is earned, not given. So act in their interest, know your shit, and don't be desperate. Now, you've probably heard the phrase, sales is a numbers game. Now, I find that statement is often used in the wrong way because it encourages folks to persist through failure by simply contacting more people. I'm a big fan and believer in working smarter, not harder. Simply dialing more numbers and knocking more doors isn't really the solution I would go with, and actually a massive time waster. In reality, you need to stack the odds in your favor. So when you play the numbers game, many more of those numbers result in sales. There are multiple ways that you can do this. If you're converting 2 out of 100 calls, you can improve the result by 5x by just being ultra specific about who you're calling. Think about the easiest sales you've ever made, the type of person that stays on the phone. Call more people like them. Another thing that you can do is just sell a better thing. This may sound obvious, but sometimes people forget that if something isn't selling very well, maybe it's time to go back and rework the thing that you're selling or how you package your offer so it resonates better with your customers. This could multiply your conversions further by another 3x. Once you stack the odds in your favor by optimizing who you contact, when you contact them, what you offer them, and how you deliver the offer, you will save a lot of time and sell a lot more in the process. Now, the final golden nugget isn't something that you can actually do, but what I explained can make you realize you've made a big mistake or that you're on the right track. So cold and gross. When I was growing up, I played a lot of basketball. My dream was to be in the NBA. I realized pretty quickly that no matter how hard I practiced, I didn't have the natural genetics, but more importantly, I didn't have the passion for the game to make it to the top. The NBA is the greatest example that wanting money isn't actually enough. You need to love the game to be the best. Choosing the right game to play has arguably been the most important golden nugget in terms of my own success. I ended up picking businesses that I was naturally inclined to do well in, but more importantly, things that I love to do each day. A lot of people get into the agency business just because of the money. But I got into this business by accident over 10 years ago because I was already using my skills to help others realize their goals and projects. This is my unfair advantage. I actually care about my clients and the work that we're doing with them in a way that you can't really fake. This makes selling super easy. It would be very hard for a salesperson to have sustained success if they don't have a real passion for the work that the business does. They will lack conviction, they won't know how to talk, and they definitely won't earn the trust of your prospects. If you want to crush it in sales, pick something that you'll be passionate about selling. This will be the ultimate cheat code that makes everything else that I talked about in this video easy. To summarize my 3 golden nuggets: trust is earned, not given. Stack the odds in your favor and choose the right game to play. If you got value out of this video, you know how to let me know. I also recommend that you subscribe so you can catch more money-making videos just like this. See you in the next one.